Hi there everybody, it's UK independent demonstrator Halsey here from SlimmandStylish.com. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have a bit of a different tutorial for you. I'm doing a card, which I know I usually do, but I've actually done a bit of a vintagey one today, using one of the card sets that's in the annual catalogue. So this card set is from the Ballard suite. I'll just get you a picture of it. It comes in this gorgeous tin, which I would show you, but I took the tin to work because it's the right size to fit my cards in. And so it's currently sitting on my desk at work. But these are the cards that you get with it. And they are so delicate and so pretty. And you also get the envelopes that come with them. And you get 12 of these in the tin. How gorgeous are those? And they are £17 for the 12 cards, the 12 envelopes and that lovely tin, and I just think they're stunning. So I was working out what I could do with them that was special for my team. So I actually have a team day on Friday of this week where a few of my team are coming over. We actually have a huge retreat over the weekend, and I just invited a few of my team over on Friday for, you know, cakes and crafting and a few sweets and treats, and I decided to pop them all some table gifts. So I've made them these lovely little notebooks using the Ballard paper and the pink ribbon, and I've also made them these little boxes that have got candles in. There are videos for these over on my YouTube, and you can find them on my blog. And then it was just the card I was going to put with them, and I thought I just love this. So I've made some vintage looking cards and popped some little flowers on the bottom, and I'm going to show you how to make them. Now I've seen this idea floated around by quite a few demonstrators, so it's not my idea. There has been quite a few that's done them, and it's taken the card and it's popping a layer behind it so that you can get the effect that I've got here with the colours. Kind of making it like a bit of a glass window, you know, like in churches. So what I've done is these are 5.5 centimetres by 4.25. They're in the American sizes, not the UK sizes. So I have got some very vanilla, and I've cut it the same, 5.5, not centimetres, inches, 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. So I've done exactly the same with my very vanilla, and I've just checked that it fits behind there perfectly. Okay. I have my daubers and I have my inks. I do have inks. I put the inks somewhere. There they are. I've got petal pink, seaside spray and pineapple punch. So I'm just going to grab a spare piece of grid paper to pop underneath because I'm obviously going to be sponging. I'm going to start with the yellow and the blue because I don't want very much of those on here. I want this to be predominantly peach. These are just to give it a little bit of texture. So I'm going to pop probably about 4 dots of them on. So once you've just inked them up, just pop it onto the side and come in lightly with it. So there's my blue. And I am just doing them in little circle blotches, really. It doesn't really have to be neat. I mean, it needs to be neatish, but you don't have to systematically plan it because the window, if you see here, the window actually covers a lot of it. So it's just to give it some sort of colour and texture behind the window. So I'm just going to go with that to make it a bit darker. Where else do I want one? We'll have one coming in there. Yeah, and I reckon that will probably be about it for the blue. I say blue, seaside spray. And then the next one is pineapple punch. But you could use daffodil delight or crushed curry here, depending on what colours you want to make it. And I'm not really going to bring it in next to the blue. I know I've done it next to the blue up there, that's fine. But I want to just get some bits where the pink can be separated. So let's just do that again. Let's go over the corner up there. Oh, I've daubed the seaside spray rather than actually in the ink. Very clever. There we go. don't often do the vintagey type look, and I very rarely use Very Vanilla. It's very unlike me. But with these cards being very vanilla, I've used it and I actually quite have enjoyed it, because normally I'm a white girl. There's the petal pink. Now the petal pink is going all over the card. There we go. And it's also going over the blue and over the yellow. And it doesn't matter if it's dark in some bits and light in another, it's just to get that colour cover in the Very Vanilla. So I'm actually really looking forward to Friday. It's the first time I've actually hosted one, so very excited. One of my team members has hosted one before, Karen, and she did a fantastic job. So I was going to put her in charge of hosting mine because she was so good, but she's on holiday. So I'm up. It's one of the nice things, like when I joined Stampin' Up, I mean, I love my friends, I really do, they're all great, but not many of them craft. So they all look out for handmade stuff from me for birthdays and things like that, but none of them have really said, oh, let's sit down and craft together. So since joining Stampin' Up, we've gone to on stages, we've had team retreats, we've had craft days hosted at people's houses. It's such a great social thing to meet people who are also interested in crafting. So. And you learn great things as well, because I only really used to do cards. My upline Sam, she does lots of 3D projects, and I've made those candle boxes. So I'm feeling very 3D at the moment. And you don't have to worry about this looking blotchy. Like I said, it is going to have the window over the top. It is just to get the general colour on the card, and yet make sure you've gone over all of the yellow and the blue, so it's got the sort of pink tinge with it. So that's sort of how you want your background to look. And you can just double check by popping it underneath the card and seeing if you want any colour in any other places. But I'm quite happy with that. I'll just pop the lid on that before I actually put my elbow in it. That's one of my common crafting mistakes, leaving the lid off the inks and popping my elbow in it. So for this, you're going to want to open the card, and you're going to want to bend it back on itself so it stays open by itself like that. I'll pop that back underneath because I'm going to be playing with the glue. So I've got some Tombow. Tombow's now back in stock, by the way. I know it was out of stock for a bit because of our customs issue, but it's now back in stock, so if you wanted it. And it looks like by this I really should have got some more. That's right, I've got another one. You want to pop the glue lightly all the way around the base there. I've seen quite a few demonstrators do this. Some have just done it with a colour underneath it. Others have done it with DSP. I also made my own pattern card. It's just so effective to do. I think this window is just beautiful. And so give it a few seconds just so it dries a little bit, so it's tacky, because I don't want the glue to shoot out of the pattern. And then just drop that down. The great thing about the Tombow is you can then reposition that card so you know it's actually in the right place. And there we go. That's the base of the card pretty much done. So what I did to decorate it, because I didn't want to do, you know, too much, I used the Free as a Bird stamp set, and I use this one here, Your Friendship Means the World to Me. And I've just stamped that using the petal pink. I did try it with Memento first, but it just shouted at me. It was too dark. line it up and punching it out. I'm lining the wording up a little bit more towards the bottom because I want to stick the bow at the top, so I don't want to cover the words. There we go. I'm just going to grab some dimensionals and pop that on. Placing it towards the bottom. Right, now I've used a few different sets here for these flowers. I've used the Forever Lovely die sets, which is this one. They've got these cute little flowers in it. And I've also used the Bloom and Grow, which has this flower die in it. I can pick it up. This one, it's not coming out there. Not doing very well with that. And I've already die cut the flowers out. So this one here has got some these big sort of flowers in. It's also got a couple of the little ones. And the Bloom and Grow one has got these four spoke flowers in. And I'm using 2 big ones, 1 little one, and 1 of those ones per card. So what you're going to need is some foam. Pop these on. Make sure the right side up so the imprint's not on there. And I'm just using the opposite side to my piercing tool to go in and to make them stand up. Grabbing some glue dots. I'm going to start with the bigger flowers because they're easier to position first. I'm popping 1 in that gap there. And push it down so it sticks up. That gap there. I'm then going to put the little 4th flower. I'm going to bend my glue dot over for this. I'm going to curl it because you don't want a full glue dot, it's a bit too thick. And I'm just going to pop that on the back of that one. And that one goes in the middle of the 2. And then the little flower just goes at the end. I'm going to do exactly the same with the glue dot. What's good when you actually do curl the glue dot is it adds a bit of dimension and has them all sitting at different levels. Not as much as a dimensional, but because you've folded the glue over, it is just a little bit higher. So they sit as a little group. And I've got our pearl jewels. And I'm just using the little ones. And I'm popping them in the centre of each flower. Just going to push them down because I don't want them to fall off. There we go. And finally, the scalloped lace trim. I'm just going to make a little bow. I'm not going to tie it too tight because I don't want to really... I'm not making the tail very long either. Grab the glue dot. And there we go. That's it. I mean, this set does have the envelopes to go with them. So you could decorate the envelopes, but I quite like how they are quite plain to go together. Aren't they cute? And the tin, I know I showed you the tin in the book. I will put a picture of it up on my Facebook page because it's gorgeous. And it does fit in the UK cards as well as the US cards. It is a nice size, and that's why I've took it to work, because it's got quite a few thank you cards for me to send out from the office. But yeah, there we go. What do you think? Don't forget to check out my other videos and subscribe if you like. And if you did ever want to attend any of our team days or anything, I would happily welcome you to my Stampin' Bells. Just ask me and I'll give you all the information on it. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.